Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive. And you know when I say everyone, Trinidad, Tobago, the entire Caribbean, and beyond. Welcome again. I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus. And as usual with me is the other co-creator.
Hi, I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite. Welcome everybody, and a special welcome to Guyana, our friends in Guyana. You'll find out why soon. Jennifer, how are you?
I am doing great. I am all excited. I have things happening, and I just love Christmas, you know.
Yes.
I haven't put up any Christmas tree or anything. Just the atmosphere. I feel good, and I'm seeing around neighbors painting and things going
last year
on.
we had pictures of everybody who decorated their homes and stuff, and we know that even though
Oh,
your little condo, you do a fantastic job of
yes.
And so
I just love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So it puts me in a great mood. So here am I in a very, very good mood. And I'm wearing red. I like this is a time to somehow I look for all the bright color things to put on.
Christmas. And for our US friends, they're celebrating Thanksgiving this week.
Oh, yes.
Our Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving. So, but let's get to the get-go. We have exciting news because people would remember who following us that we have our partner, Action Invest in Caribbean Incorporated in Guyana, which represents Connections 50 Plus Business Day.
Yes.
They have been doing a wonderful job helping with our programs. And in particular, the Essentials Toolkit. And this Friday, they're actually going to be having a free webinar to promote the toolkit. And we are going to be involved supporting them, Vishnu Durga and his team. And we want to tell you across the Caribbean, and we have a great Guyanese audience also. Yeah. And we want you to make sure and register for this seminar. So you will see it on our Facebook page, our Instagram page. The ad is up. You are going to learn a whole lot more. People in Guyana, people in Suriname, especially, you know, register for the seminar. You're going to learn a lot about the Essentials Toolkit. And we really want us to start getting, listen, a lot is changing. And Jennifer?
Yeah.
Post-COVID, post everything.
This
Guyana,
is an ideal time.
Changes are significant. You know, people think you're booming economy, but it's transition. New skills are required. So we really want to endorse and support the Action Invest team in all success for their webinar on Friday. So you have the details on the screen. So make sure to register. It's a free webinar. Come see what we can do for you. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
So, and Jennifer, we are coming out of a hell of a week. Well, by the end of the month, people, you'll have some news. We have news. All of us doing different things, and Jennifer is doing different things too. So soon she will tell you about her new things. But Jennifer, I'm excited today with our guest because we are talking about this thing we don't like our generation. You know, last week we were talking about the cheese and the bread getting pressure, and a lot of us don't like to ask for help
because we allow ourselves to feel guilty
and tired.
You know, like we are not deserving, and we say, well, okay, you know, we have to do it. Who else will do it, etc.
Yeah. So we know that it's difficult to trust and to get reliable help. So in continuing our series, so you learn to dance, you learn to play instruments and sing, you learn a new career barbering. So now we want you, as we continue in our tribe, being a tribe, we are talking to a really special lady, Carol Graham, who is going to help us to get help and have a better life on the third act stage. So let's listen to this. Okay, viewers. Well, it's 5.8G time and we're talking about getting going. And as we said, we have a very, very special guest on today. We want to introduce Carol Graham Alexander, who is the founder and owner, chief cook and bottle washer of Kel's All-Round Empowerment Agency. Carol, we're so happy to have you here.
I'm very happy to be here also.
Okay. So now, as usual, with all Jennifer and I pull all our resources together and we bring people who we feel really would help you to live. And Jennifer, I know in an early show, we talked about the way I manage my life and the fact that throughout my professional life, I've had wives, people who are in my house giving me assistance and making sure that I can balance my life. And folks, I've been associated with Carol for over 30 years. I think it's about 30 years, Carol.
Wow.
And
yes,
Carol is in the business of helping people get help. So Carol,
That's right.
start by telling us about Kel's All-Round Empowerment Agency.
Okay. First, I would like to say thanks for having me. And also, the reason why I started this business was because I really like helping people. I really do. I was in insurance helping people how to get money in case they die prematurely. And after that, I decided lots of people have problems getting a job. And I decided, well, why not do housekeeping, geriatric, babysitting, that type of thing. And I went around my street, I asked people what they like to do, and I got a feel of it. Then I went into the malls and I spoke to people in places like West Mall, and I asked them what would they like to get. You know, what is one of the things they would like to get? And I was very happy when lots of people said they want an honest, hardworking babysitter, somebody who will care about their children, somebody who will care about their elderly mother or father, and things like that. So I said, great. And I started quite slowly, humbly. You know, it was a lot of fun. I started with about 10 ladies. I decided, let me train them so that when they start to work, it would be easier. And that's how I started. Actually, that's how I started.
Carol, again, welcome. And Terry-Ann mentioned 30 years ago. Is that was Terry-Ann maybe around about your first client? When you say how long you started, how long ago you started?
Terry-Ann actually was saying where we first met. We used to dance.
Where you first met, but tell me how long you started your business.
Okay, wonderful. I am 26 years in existence. I started, I think, it's 90.
Well, that's almost 30 years.
30 years.
Okay. Yes, well, okay, right, great. And I started 26 years ago. My son was 10 years, and I was wondering what could I do to stay home and look after him. That was basically the beginning of the whole story. But then the business just took off and had a life of its own.
That's fantastic, because I would think 26 years ago, I mean, you really had to be a very innovative thinker, because services like that wasn't very popular, because I would have been around that time. All right. So it wasn't a service that was being offered. So the thing is, and you know what you just explain how you started and that you have your son home and you needed to take care of him. And it's what we talk about a lot, that we have to start to think out of the box,
That's
you
right.
know, and you actually, and I can relate coming from sales, that you actually went out and do a survey. You didn't just say, well, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Yes, this is what you think of doing, but you actually went out there and did a survey to get a
I did.
feel of what type of service people wanted, and
Yes.
you did it. And I
Yep.
must congratulate you, because that's why you're here. 26, to me, 26 is a long time for a business like that. And again, tell us about, I mean, I would love to hear, for you to be in business for 26 years, being the innovator of such a business. And I know now competition out there, everybody watching you and say, if Carol could do it, I can do it. But
Oh,
what
I
you
had
think
them.
is your reason for that success still at this stage and still being running a successful business?
The answer to that is because if I didn't care, it would have crumbled. I care, you know? So what happened? What happened? I listen to people. I listen both to the poor people, I listen to the rich people. I had to be in between those two people, the poor and the rich. The poor, they were looking for money. They weren't looking for handouts, they were looking for money. They wanted to achieve something. And at the beginning, I was like normal people. I thought a small salary was sufficient. And the girls went out there and they did their best and they told me in no uncertain terms, Miss Carol, these people working me hard and I'm not getting anywhere with this salary. And I started to think. And bit by bit, I increased salaries until right now, there are people working for over $5,000 a month.
Okay.
And the clients are not grumbling. And that's the next important thing. The clients call me up and they say, thank you very much, Carol. You sent me the best person. And today, I sat with my daughter-in-law and my son, and they were hearing me calling up clients. And clients are telling me, I still have the girl after 10 and 11 and 12 and 15 years.
I actually
And,
said
their eyes were popping because I'm now passing this business over to them. I have already passed it over, but I have to stay with them until I feel that they have gotten the gist of the whole thing, because they have to think always about the workers. They have to think also about the clients. Both people's needs are important, and they have to give that coverage. So the clients must feel very satisfied that they have somebody who they can trust and who becomes like part of the family. The worker also feels, hey, Miss Carol, I am so happy in this job. I feel like I am part of the family. They're making me feel good. And they always like Terry Ann's mother. Terry Ann's mother hugs her caretaker, you know, and she says, don't leave me, don't leave me, because she is so satisfied. You understand? She's so satisfied with the worker. She's so satisfied. And my clients, that's what they tell me. When they tell me that, my whole heart and the chest and nice and full. It's a love. And listen, I don't feel it's whole 26 years. I don't even feel it. I feel like it was just a couple of years ago I did this. I don't feel it. There's no weight. It's a wonderful feeling doing these things. And also, I have made real friends. Like one of my clients, Solange Sims, she considers me her sister. Sometimes she like to say she's I'm her mother because I older than her, you know. But people rely on me. They really rely on me. And it makes me feel good. Because
I will say,
I have done a bit of, I've covered a space, you know, I feel good about my job. Let me
Yeah.
tell you this.
I would say, and because it's a continuing story, and Jennifer, we talked about my drama over the last couple of months. I would give, we've been talking, Jennifer, over the last 3 weeks where, we're following my little drama with my parents. And one of the reasons that we wanted Carol to come on board is that many of us in our cohort, and Carol, you may be able to speak about this, we carrying so much burden and so much weight. And we don't trust this one and we don't trust that one. And you're running from the job or your own business to taking care of your children, your grandchildren, the house, and you're always tired and you never have a break. And you don't have a person that you say you can't get help. And you don't have a person that you could call that you can get reliable help. And yes, I've had a long relationship with, I'll tell you, every time I hired help without Carol's involvement, it didn't work out. I had 2 examples.
Yes, I forgot about your help.
It didn't work out.
Yes.
But
Sorry about
every person, not every person Carol got for me stayed longer than 10 years. And the current one is there 15 years. And it's just because we have a bad habits. We don't want to release each other. So when I had my drama with my parents and they both ended up hospitalized, I just called Carol and I said, Carol, this is my situation. I need help. And within 3 days, I had suitable help. So Carol, I want to ask you 2 questions. First of all, do you still see people having that I don't trust and I don't want people in my house? And how do you manage that kind of thing? After you answer that, I'll ask you, where do you get these wonderful people from?
Okay, so Terry-Ann, it is even more so with this COVID. It's even more so. Because now I have to think about how workers are going to get to the jobs and not take the normal transportation, because I feel when they take the normal transportation, they are susceptible to that COVID. I am very worried about that. So I ask people, which they tell me is not a good thing, but as the workers, because it's an additional expense. So I have to ask my workers to try to get a private car to take them directly from their home to the job and back. That's an added expense, right? And the clients feel a little bit more comfortable. Of course, I've asked a number of them, please take on some live-in persons, let them live in so that the chances of they getting COVID is reduced. And the most important point is that I pray. I pray from the beginning of my job, and every single living day, I pray. I say, Jesus, I cannot know all these people. I cannot know their faults. I cannot know faults from the clients or the workers. You guide me, and I ask God that from the time I started to this day, Lord Jesus, you guide me. You put hurdles in front of me so that I will know that, okay, this is not a client, this is not a worker to deal with, because I do background checks, but at the same time, you can't always get every single thing right. But so far, my clients are very happy with the choices that I send to them. And every job I take it on, the urgency is another thing that I do. If somebody tell me, Carol, I know it is unreasonable for me to ask, but could you get somebody within 2 days? Could you get somebody today for me? I get on the job immediately. I'm very sorry, my husband suffers, he does. Because at 10 o'clock, he hasn't had breakfast yet. And sometimes he would just come and bring me a cup of tea. I say, eat something, the baby. He say, okay, but he waits for me to come and sit. So 10 o'clock, I'm now going back to the house. I'm leaving my office, going back to the house to have a breakfast with my husband. And I feel kind of sad about that, but thank God I have a good husband. Again, I prayed for a good husband, And I have a husband who understands. You know, he's sitting right there, right now, you know, in the office with me to make sure that I'm all right. You know, he's very quiet. He looked at all the confusion that I just went through trying to get on the Zoom, and he's patiently waiting. But at one instance, I had to drive to. I had a client in Port of Spain, the towers, what do you call it again? The government towers.
Oh, Victoria
One of the towers, that's fine.
Victoria
That's
Keys,
okay.
yeah, which one? Yeah.
No, sorry,
Yeah.
not the towers, not the towers. I was talking about the Twin Towers. I'm talking
Okay.
about a government office.
Okay.
And halfway up, I began to feel like if my head was lifting off. Okay?
Wow.
My husband says, I just said, babes, just see about me. And I'm praying, Jesus, get me out of this, get me out of this. Anyway, he give me water, stop face, all kind of pray. And then he says, do you want to turn back and say, I can't. We're halfway there. And I went still for and then I felt better. The rest of the day I felt better. But after that, I said, people are now going to have to come to my office for interviews. My husband said, I built this office for you. If they're coming from Westmoreland or they're coming from Point Fortin, they are going to come to the office. We're not going to go through that again because it was dangerous.
Yeah.
It was dangerous, you know. But I take my work very seriously, and I thank God for every single person He sends to me, and every single client and worker. And you know, and I know that has been what has kept me nice and steady over those 26 years.
Carol, you answered well, Tarian. She did answer your question in terms of where she got these people from, all these beautiful people. Carol, do you do your own training? Do you train that staff?
Oh
before you
yes,
send them out?
oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah.
I first, I must give you this little joke. The clients, the workers, when they come here for their first to sign, to do the first interview and sign up the forms, the application forms, they say to me, I'm going to tell all my friends, when they come to you, walk with the night clothes because it is long. Because not only they fill out the forms, but then in the early stages, I used to make them come into my bedroom. I would rumple up all the sheets. I say, make up the bed. And then, then I watch and see how they do it. And I say, okay, this is how you do it. I will carry them to my dining room. I will show them how to lay table. But over the years, a number of them says, Carol, guess what? This training is not working because clients don't have time to have breakfast on the, you know, like a communal thing. Everybody's sitting at the table. They don't do it. So let us forget about that one. and over the years, you know, so but once a year, except for this 2 COVID years, once a year I have a big seminar, and they all come through. I have at the head table, I will have people like Mr. Wade.
You bring in people with different expertise.
Yes,
within the field.
I bring in people who are into human resources training. I have at the head table people who are into management and personal trainers. I have psychologists. I have people who also have workers from my agency, and so they talk about their experiences.
Yeah,
you understand. I have, and yes. So and then I take the most difficult clients sometimes who have extraordinary needs, and they talk to the workers and tell them what the agency has done for them, and they listen to their little problems, especially the ones who I have who are psychologists and stuff, and they tell them how to address their problems and that kind of thing, you know. So it's I always do that so that my workers feel important.
Of course.
And
yeah.
Yes, that is always the main thing. The workers must feel, and that's what I tell people. I say, listen, if you have a cut, you're not going to go to a carpenter, you're going to go to a doctor. If your house is you know, you can't maintain this niceness in your house, that uniformity in your house and all the pretty things and no dust and all that sort of thing, you're not going to call a doctor, but you're going to call a housekeeper. So I told them a housekeeper is just as important as a doctor. That is what I told them. And that is how I lifted my workers. I lifted them up so that they felt, important.
Mhm.
And I think that is the most important thing. If you make your workers feel important and that they're needed, they will give you more. They give you more, you get more out of them, that kind of thing.
Carol, on
So
that note,
that is how I make that.
so I know one of the issues that people have who they think that people are reluctant to get help into the house is that when problems occur, a lot of people just don't want to do the disciplining. They don't want to do the confronting. They don't want to do that kind of thing. And I know within your service, there's a period you give people, they're almost on probation. And you give assurance. Talk about that. How do you help people to...
Okay. Yes. One of the things I make sure even when I talk to clients, I know sometimes I might go a little overboard in making sure that we have that back and forth, comfortable conversation going. But most people gravitate towards it because they like to know that there's somebody they could talk to if there's a problem. Now, when you come to me, there is a fee, of course, and the fee, I tell my clients, the fee is for the next 6 months from the time they come. For the next 6 months, they can change at will without another cent being paid. So the fee that they pay covers them for 6 months, and in the 6 months, they can say, Carol, this is not working out. And very nicely, we will do it. We will have another interview with some other persons, and they like them, then they can't tell the worker that, well, if she wasn't working out, they ask me to do it, I will do it. It's never a problem. Because I will always tell the worker, especially if they are honest, but they're just not up to the job, I say, I'll get something else for you, so don't worry about it, right? Your job has come to an end, but it's okay. I'm going to get something else for you. So nobody leaves disgruntled.
Carol, I can definitely see why you're successful for the last 26 years. Because with that, the service you are offering and the joy, you're just talking about it, that joy that's coming from you showing that you really love what you do, I can see that being passed on to the workers because you're enjoying, you're proud of them, you are uplifting them, you have them seeing themselves as professionals, not just as anybody going to work in a home, but all the different skills that you are teaching them at a professional level. So I'm hearing, and tell me, there are people who still may think that, I'm not going through no agency or anything. I could get somebody for myself, it's cheaper. But from what I'm hearing, I can definitely see it may be, I'm not sure about cheaper because I feel at the end of the day, it costing you more. It is such
okay, can I just come in right there because I may forget.
Sure.
Yes. No, let me tell you, what you said there is so true. There are people who come to me, and when I tell them my fee, they say, and they go. And I write their name down, and I put a nice big asterisk, because I know within 3 months, that same person is calling me back and crying to me. I have had people cry long tears, and they say, I'm sorry, but let me see what you can do for me, because this person come in the house and they just beat me up in my own house, and they're crying. And I'm saying, I'm sorry, and I would listen to what they say. I would bring not just one person, unless they ask me just for one. I'd bring 3 persons for them to interview. Those were the days when I would go to the homes. I used to go to homes, or sometimes I go to places like Rituals, where we have a meeting, we buy some coffee and so on, and everybody's meeting there and so on. We have interviews right there. But most of the times people want me to come to their homes to see where they are and things like that. And then I would fix that situation, and then they would thank me. I have one lady, I could just remember her crying to me and telling me all of that. Poor thing, rest in peace, she died. But she and I used to have some real rigorous conversations going. You know, I've had, you know, things like
I
that
am
come up
not
to
a
me.
bad client. I'm a good client.
But you helped me plenty times and even thinking. You are a great
And now
client.
about to tell you, Carol, that she's very brave. I was going to say off air, not not on air. But I love that personalized attention. And you know what I like, Carol, and Terry Ann mentioned it before. You see that heavy responsibility of checking, oh gosh, if they're working good, if I like them, and then you're frightened if you say you don't like them, and next thing you know, you feel you're going to be sabotaged, etc. It is such a great service when you can call on someone. I know, listen, you are the person in charge. I trust you. You did all the interview before, and I like you match me with whoever you feel, because definitely you look at personalities, you look at needs and things, and you match. And for 6 months ago, and if it don't work within that time, I don't have to worry about finding no money and worrying and getting vexed. I could be assured that you understand me already. You heard the complaint. You are not saying I'm too miserable, so you're not sending anybody else again. No, from what I'm hearing, you're going to look again and match me up with something. Yes. I am ready.
I have a little fun thing to say to you because it just came into my head. I remember one of my clients is Chief Justice Ilawasi. He told me I can use his name. But yes, he told me that.
Great.
And he called me one day. He said, he's laughing. He said, you know what? I told one of my buddies, when I reach where I'm going, I have a housekeeper who is driving a car, and you could see the kind of car, and he's laughing. He thought that was so funny. He called me to tell me that, you know, and I enjoy
proud.
that.
I know he's very proud of that. Yes.
Yes, I enjoy. And to this day, the lady has resigned because, you know, she's elderly. She has resigned, but every time they have any little get together, they're calling her, you know, because she lives in England. She doesn't look like a housekeeper for Sweden. She lives in England, and she would prepare all the fancy things that the English, you know, would prepare. And she is as humble as ever, you know? Yes.
Yeah. So you have your people with all different skills too, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
I have to serve at different levels.
I will say this, and Carol mightn't say it, but one of the things that, and this again is being done to assure our listeners that, listen, you need help. Don't burden yourself. And sometimes the reason people don't get help is because they know they're picky, they know they're fussy, they know, all right, we're in a multiracial society. I only want a black person in my house. I only want an Indian person in my house. I only want a Chinese person in my house. I only want a fat person, a thin person, a short person. I want a person who is not educated. I want a person who is educated.
Yeah,
I want a person who won't watch my husband. I want a person who is not looking too sexy. And they are ashamed to say, but this is so they're refusing people, but that's what they really want. The thing about Carol is you could tell Carol, hey, is it this what I want?
Yes, my sister who lives in America thinks that I'm crazy because she has sat here and listened to me talk to people. And I would say, you know, please let me know if you want an Indian person. And I have heard remarks like, why would you say that? When I go to the person is a white person with an Indian name. So she was laughing at me. But I ask my clients without flinching. I say, do you want an Indian person? Because I'm hearing the voice and I know it's an Indian person. Do you want an Indian person or it doesn't matter? Please be straight with me, and I make it very nice and easy for them to answer me. And sometimes I have to call them back and say, look, I looked and I didn't find an Indian person that will match what you want, but here is an African person who can do the work. Would you like to try them? And without any problem, they come, they interview, And some of them, they have the African person working for years.
Yeah.
The person never left. You know?
What is great
And I
about
make
that, Carol? People
Yes.
do have their cultural,
Biases.
the
And I told them
preferences
that.
and
I
biases.
told them that. I said,
And what I'm hearing from you is that
Yeah.
it's no judgment. You are satisfying the client
no
needs or what the
judgment.
client wants. No
No
judgment
judgment.
about that.
No judgment.
And you
That's
still
right.
offering them. If you don't have, you say, well, okay, you can have that. So they feel comfortable. They're not being judged, but there's a reason why they would have that preference.
Yes.
It may be because that person may cook this meal a certain way for them. Or,
That is what I
lots
say.
of different things. Yeah.
Yes. I make a little joke. I say, I don't like sada roti, but I have clients who tell me they want somebody who could cook sada roti and it must swell. It must swell. They don't even want them to have sada roti just so the sada roti must swell.
So they have to know what it. I could relate.
Food. But you have to be able to cook oil now. Or if you have like my father, you're cooking which is something must have pigtail, and if you don't put pigtail in it, it can't cook.
Yeah. So I could relate, and I find that's great that you could understand your clients, understand their needs, and do that matching up.
Yeah.
Now, something that Terry said just now, but she didn't finish it, was that sometimes, we are the over 50s, right? We have done so much things in our house up to that time. We have looked after our children, we looked after our husband, we looked after our house, and we still had a career. And now we look around as we reach after 50 and so on. We look around and how we have what is called an empty nest, right? Everybody's gone. We have an empty nest. But now the energy is gone and we have the money. So we have the money now to get the service. So come to me and get the service, get your house clean, get a companion, somebody you could just chat with and say, come on, let's go down the road and buy some.
Carol, that's what I want you to answer now. What kind of services do you provide? What kinds of needs do you fulfill?
All right, so let me just tell you. First is babysitting, which was really the biggest one. Babysitting. Newborn babies, I have nannies for them. Nannies. I could get people who know about babies from the time they come out to, yes. They know how to do everything. The diaper change, the rubbing the back, the massaging, sitting down on the ground playing with the baby while they're creeping, all of that. Babysitting, housekeeping. And now that we have the influx of the foreigners, we've had a lot of Guyanese over the years, and the Jamaicans and the Venezuelans. I let people, I have all these people who come to my office, and of course, Chinese, of course, who are the only ones who can do Kalaloo and Pilau.
That's our specialty.
Right, but then we're learning the Guyanese methods of cooking and so on. So it's a real melting pot in this little office that I have.
But you talked about companionship also, because sometimes the
I get it there.
Yes.
I get it there. Now the geriatric workers, I get people and I listen to them because I know for a fact when I'm sitting talking to them, I'm listening to them. Some of them you can see they just want to probably just bathe them and then just feed them and then sit down outside and pose outside. I tell them that is not the kind of people I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who go to interact with their clients.
Yeah.
I tell them they have to listen. They have to do their little toenails and their little thing, style up the hair in a little fancy way, put a little makeup. But now with the COVID, all of that is kind of like I'm not too sure how that is working out. But these are the things that I talk about. These are the things that I try to get people, the workers, excited about having that kind of, knowing how to do that and so on. But they also come with their experiences and their qualifications when they come to me. But I try to make them understand it's not about you're just doing one thing and then you're sitting down and you're just lying or you're watching TV or some kind of thing like that. No, it's not that. It's all about helping, companionship and showing that you have the skills to make your clients feel happy and that sort of thing, you know? So and then I have Christmas time where people sometimes they want their houses clean and they want somebody who would know how to make black cake and what is the other thing again?
Pastel.
And pastel and so on. And they can call me and they get all of that. Sometimes some people, they have a little party and they want somebody to just come and, you know, serve at the party, and that's what they float around helping, you know. I get all of that. Whatever you want, I try to give you, yes.
I'm about to say that, Carol. I think all is service, all wrong. Any needs within the home, you provide. And
well, the name of the business is Kel's All Around Employment Agency.
Yeah, and definitely.
Kel's All Around Empowerment Agency. Yeah. You see?
And it is, yeah. It is about empowerment. As you talk about the Christmas, you have those who also put up the Christmas tree for you.
They do that too.
I don't like putting up Christmas tree at all.
Oh, look at that. You call me, I will give you somebody who is so happy about. But yes, the Christmas tree, the cleaning of the cabinet, that is another thing that you don't think about. That cabinet that we have all those different ways in. Oh, yes.
Bric-a-brac or something like that.
And you know, at this time of the year, you have to take down all those glasses, all those things that collect in the cupboard, wash them back, wipe them and put them back up. Jeez.
Yes, and do it. And they do it. They do it.
And they still do it.
Yes.
Carol, this was so exciting. Jen, I have another question there.
No, I was going to say, because yes, and Carol mentioned, okay, we are all 50 plus, we're dealing with the 5.8 G cohort. And it is so important for us to understand, and you said it, Carol, that we worked very hard, you know, and it's time to get help. We get help.
That's right. Yes.
And why not? I'm not being out there looking. You have somebody like yourself with all these years of experience that could provide, you know, the help for us, you know. So I congrats again, Ivan. That's great. 26 years. 26 years.
I have retired, but I'm making sure that when my son and daughter-in-law do it, they're getting a little bit more guidance.
I'm sure you have so much experience.
And in January, I am telling them there's no more help. That's it. If you all don't learn now, then that's it. But they have learned and they have done some wonderful things.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what they're doing now? They're modernizing the business. Because
of course.
It took me so long to get the Zoom thing going. And if they were here, they would have done that for me. I like how my son sends everybody receipts on their phone.
The online banking.
Online banking, if you please. You know, all those fancy things. And then because of the COVID, they are now when the ladies come to me, you know, let them sign the application forms and all that kind of thing online, if you please.
Yes.
So they have taken over and they have done their own fancy new methods.
That's so nice to be able to work hard and we talk about legacy, Terry. We talk about that legacy, passing on
and
that.
Carol, I hope you don't mind me asking you this, because again, how old are you?
Me? Yes, please. Over the air. No.
Why you so? It's important.
You asked me something just now. What was it again?
Your age, because it is important for our listeners. Look at how well you're doing, and they have to know that we.
Oh, okay. I hope none of my longtime friends are listening. But I am 70. Okay, there you go. You got it. So everybody knows my age now. Oh my God.
The important.
We're proud, Carol. We are very proud here on this show about age, because what Terry said is correct. It just shows that, and I keep saying it and posting it, age is just a number. It's about active aging, it's about happiness, and you are all, I mean, you can see you are happy.
you have a active husband who dear, supportive and a loving husband that I don't want to talk about. Many of us would like to have one like that, but you know, I'm talking about myself, sorry. But that's great. And it just shows that, yeah, it's this age. You are very active. And when you talk about retiring, not really retiring, it's just you passing on that business that you've worked so hard about, which is really great, to your son. And I know you're not just going and sit down in a rocking chair.
No,
I know
no,
you
no,
have
no,
so many plans after that.
no. I have to look
So-
after my grandkids.
Right. And you know, next thing you know, you're going to be opening a nursery or something, or some
Oh
school.
no,
You're going
no.
to
I
find
was just
something.
I was so all sorts of fancy clothes for them because they like to dress
You
up.
see?
So that's my plan.
So you know,
I'm
that's
looking forward to
great.
doing that. Yes, yes.
So to say you're 70 and you see you so you're happy and healthy and you're running a business, and although you said you're handing over, I know you're going to be doing some interference along the line.
Yeah, to the
I
quality
am
control.
sure. I am sure if you hear any complaints, you're pulling them in and
Oh,
you're getting involved.
I know
I
I call
will
it
take
Carol.
Not
I
going to
know
be
I
sitting
call
down
it
just.
Carol.
And like that, many of your clients, they're going to be calling you. If your son, though, if they don't match up and step up to the plate as you're accustomed doing, I am sure, and you're not going to sit back. So, but this is great, you know, having you on and chatting and learning more. You know, as usual, when we have guests like you, I learn so much more, you know, and get more and more excited about the aging and living in comfort and having help. I love a comfort and having help. So.
well, you know what I was amazed about. I see. I looked at people watching TV, and I was always working every single day. I'm working. And you know, with this
You're
COVID,
enjoying life.
I am actually can sit in front of TV and don't think about anything. If I don't have a job, you know, that kind of thing, I could just sit in front of TV and just enjoy my day.
But you're
In
prepared
front of
for it.
TV. Yes.
You prepared for it. That's why you could
Yes.
sit and enjoy without fussing. You made preparation for this stage.
There you go. There you
Carol,
go.
in our last few minutes, what else would you like people to know about Kel's All Round Empowerment Agency that we may not have covered, especially our cohorts? You know, that 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80. What happens?
Yes. As I mentioned before, we now have the wherewithal to afford services like my service, right? And we must not be afraid to say what we want. Even if it's some people might say, okay, Carol, yes, I might have the money, but I just want somebody to come in 2 days. 2 days a week. You know, they can do that. 1 day a week, they can do that. You know, because they at least 1 day they get to sit back, relax, and don't worry about cooking, cleaning, laundry, anything like that. They have somebody who's coming in to do it, and they can relax because it's also somebody who has been screened, and they know that they're not going to be touching anything that they have. I tell my workers, not even a safety pin, a straight pin, put it in a little container. You find money coming out of a pants pocket in the laundry, in the washing machine. Take it up in a little container and tell them that this is where we're going to put little things that we find. Sometimes one side of airing, they find a side of airing, they put it in a little container, put it, you know, right by the sink or the cabinet or whatever. And so that they are feeling very comfortable that they have somebody in their house that they can relax with. They have 1 day to relax a week. That's okay. They want somebody to live in as a companion. We have that. They have somebody, they want a nurse instead of just a geriatric worker. They want a nurse, a real nurse. I can get them that too. Just call me. I don't want a painter. I can get male work too. Actually, right now I have somebody who is willing to do, what is that, power wash, you know? But I told him that he has to do mine first, and then I'm going to tell him, and then I'm going to, you know, send him on to do other people's homes, and their yard, and so on. So you just tell me what you want, and I will find it. I'll find it.
And we have your contacts up And Carol,
Lovely.
I am positive that I can vouch for myself. I have I have had $100 bills left in pants pockets, and they've been put on the dressing table under
Oh
a
yes.
little thing.
I keep forgetting that you really took on some people from my agency. I keep forgetting that.
Long term, and I have not
Right.
had to discuss
Lovely.
anybody. They have all gone on their own devices. I got Carol, I need somebody. No, but
they stay so long with you. I forgot that. I forgot that you took people from my agency. That's amazing.
No, but
Yes.
it really, really, we're very happy that we've had you here, especially to close off this November series of people taking action. And part of the reason people don't take action is they feel they have no time or they have no energy. And they need to get some help. So here's the help, you know, use it. You know,
yes, come to Kellen's all around. My son Kellen will look after you, and Kellen and Karen will look after you. And I will make sure, I'll take a little peep and make sure that everything is going good.
Thank you so much, Carol.
It was a pleasure. Wonderful. I totally enjoyed this little meeting. I was a little worried, but I'm very happy that everything, you know, yes. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. And have a good night, everybody.
You too.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Terry Ann, I love, you know, that the conversation with Carol. Carol is such, what I will say, a resilient person, you know, very excited, very happy. And you can see she's all about embracing and helping and wanting people to be happy and serving. You know, so someone like that, I can see why her business was successful and continue to be successful for me in over 26 years. And it is so beautiful to reach this stage that you can pass on that business to family and relax, as she said. But as we she's not going to relax too much, but enjoy. And you know what is it? Enjoying a different phase in your life.
Yes.
Move it. And we talk about that all the time, Terry. You move from one phase to the other, the transitioning, but in a happy way, not being bitter about leaving that stage.
Yeah.
Being happy about leaving that stage.
And you realize that was her third act transition, you know, because she was in insurance and she decided, okay, I have to transition. And she got into something else, and now at 70, she's
moving on at 70. And that's what I love, because I always talk about looking at the different phases and stage in life. And I always see like 60, okay, I can do that. 50, okay. And 70, yes, this is it. 70 is the time to say, hey,
let me
leave you all there. And this is my time to do what the hell I want and enjoy life. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
Without no guilt at all, because you know you worked hard and you left, you know, you're leaving a really great legacy.
Yeah. With workers and with clients, they're happy all around. And I can tell you, I can vouch for her. She is God sent to me in so many ways. That lady facilitated my being a professional person. I know that.
So that's great. So Terry Ann, and we have more, because we have decided, you know, we would look at the end of the month and we talk about forum at the end of the month. And we thought this November, this is coming down, this is the last quarter. And we are looking forward to prepare you all for 2022. So we have our forum coming up. But instead of doing it at end of November, we went into the first week in December. So we are looking at Friday, the 3rd of December, to have this forum where we are talking about get moving with your talent. Because remember, we spoke about all about what you can do, your skills, your talent, enjoy life, you know, be active. So look out for our forum. We're going to be, well, We would have the link for you to sign up, all the information about it, but it will be moving forward with your talent and 2022. So we are preparing to be on that stage 2022, having fun, having an active, enjoyable life.
Absolutely. Join the conversation. You know, Jennifer, so many of us, we have an idea we want to, and you have nobody to talk about it. So, and come on, let's get together and find together action.
And it will be all about conversation. So we're going to get together as a tribe and discuss and share ideas. Yes.
Great. So this has been a packed show. We have been doing wonderful things, and all we can say now is we will see you at our forum, and and we will have more fun next week, Wednesday. So,
great.
Bye.
For all you 50+ people looking for a one-stop shop equipped with dividends to guarantee personal fulfillment, social gratification, and economic well-being, well, we at Connections 50+ have a state-of-the-art toolkit especially for you. This is no gimmick. It is an essential toolkit chock full of customized online assessments created by experts to help you greatly improve your life chances. It is the Connections 50+ 5.8G Essentials Toolkit. Gain peace of mind, lead an enjoyable lifestyle, plan your future, and make your dreams a reality. For without dreaming, we lose the excitement of possibilities. Dreaming is indeed a form of planning. Connections 50+ 5.8G Essentials Toolkit allows you to dream. Seize this opportunity now. Call us at 868-685-8834 or 868-682-9202 or connect with us at connections50plus.com. Dreams are but a shadow of our potential. Let's make our dreams a reality.
50+ Tribe and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50+ 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.